Hi guys, I welcome you all once again to a new series of a lecture what we are studying now. So that's under the basics of Python. So today we are going to take one arbitrary data again provided by the US government, and we'll see that how we keep our approach while analyzing a data. It's a new set of data. Even I am will be looking it for the first time. I've just downloaded it from the US data government site. So we'll start and we'll see that how we can utilize all the things which we have read so far. We may have added few of the very basic concepts of statistics in this to analyze that, but definitely we are going to cover that when we'll be taking our next session, which is on new series onto the basic mathematics for the data science or the artificial intelligence or the machine learning, whatever you call it. So, without any further delay, we'll just go to the Jupyter notebook and we'll start and we'll have a look on this data first, and then we'll see that how we can take it ahead. So, let's move to the Jupyter notebook. Okay, so I hope like it's you are able to see this, and this is the launcher screen of my Jupyter notebook. So I am quickly gonna make a new notebook over here, and I'll give it a name, and that's rename this notebook to analysis, and I'm just keeping it as a level 0 1. Okay, so while even like when we'll be going detail into the statistics, we'll see that how different things even we can involve in. So this is the basic part of the EDA. This is what we are going to cover today. So I'll just make this first as a markdown, and I'll just write it here as an EDA level 1 or level 0. So this is the EDA level 0, and what we do is like first we always go with the initialization of the library. So I'm putting a comment here, and I'm saying rising libraries. And what are we going to take here is we'll take import numpy as np, import pandas as pd, then import matplotlib dot pyplot as plt, and import plotly dot express as px, and even import plotly dot graph objects as geo. Okay, so these are the few basic libraries which we are gonna use for this. Now we have already downloaded the data in our dataset folder, and that's the something date rate should. So it's around of 1 MB of data. So I'll quickly copy the path, and we'll bring it here as a df. So df is equal to pd dot read underscore csv, because it's an csv file, and I have entered the path here. I'll just close the parenthesis. Once we'll enter, now we have the data. So now it's a kind of we can even put a comment here that's reading a data set. Okay, so this was the reading the data set. Now this is I'll put two column, and now exploring the data frame, and I'll make it as a markdown, and I'll hit it. So this will cover everything. This will cover like the point-wise thing, because we have given it as a heading level 2. Now, what we do always is first we take the df dot shape, and this shows that this has around 6,390 rows and the 13 columns. Now, just to have a look, we can just do the df dot columns, and we have the columns of like indicator, unit number, stub name number, then stub label number, year number, age number, estimates, and then flag. After that, we'll just do the info about it, and we'll see that. Okay, so the best part is like we have many of the data, only the flag data which is having the highest non-availability or something like that. So first, what we are going to do is we are going to calculate that what is the number of data available for each and every parameter. So for that, it's easy, as we mentioned earlier, that can we have that is null. So how we do that? We do that. Suppose I just take the last flag because that has the null value we know. So flag and dot is null. So once we'll hit it, we'll get this matrix of the true, 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 and false. So which is ultimately gonna give us the 1 or 0 if I do np dot sum to that part. So now np dot sum gonna give me the value that how much number is not available. What I'll do is I'll just add the 906 to this just to check that my method is correct or not, and it has given me the 6390, which is the actual value 6390. Okay. So now we have tested like this particular statement is now giving me the unavailability values. And what we need to do is we just need to keep changing this part so that we can gain the value. So what we are going to do is we'll say that for I in df dot columns, because it is going to iterate this for loop onto the column part, and I'll pass this thing. And here what I'll do is instead of this flag, I'll just pass the I. This I parameter will fetch that particular column in every for loop and will fetch the value what is the percentage unavailability. Now, more on to that part, what are we going to do is we'll divide it by the total number of data frame, which is we can even fetch by the two methods. One is, and I'll just show it here, if I do the length of my df, it will give you some value. And if you know that we have the df dot shape, it's giving you a tuple. So first is row and second is column. If you want to fetch only row, you can fetch like that, and if you want to fetch the number of columns, you can fetch like that. So we have both the methods available. Whichever you want, you can take it. So I'll just go with the length of df over here, or we will be getting the percentage. So I'll even multiply it with 100, and now I'll gonna do it is an round to that so that we get the only after decimal two values, or maybe after decimal four values. So I'll just put it four here. So now what are we gonna do is we'll just print it once to check that what the values are coming. So when I run it, I just got the after decimal values also for wherever we had the unavailability of the data. Now, what are we going to do is we'll be making two lists and we'll be appending that. Why we are doing that? So I'll just let you know that suppose we'll be creating a data frame and we'll be fetching these values, or even we can do it play it with the list. So I'll just keep the name as an label list, and label list is like we'll be appending it. So I'm just keeping it as a common now, and then the data unavailability. So data unavailability is also an empty list for now. So now when we know that whenever we'll be going, this I becomes my label. So I can append this label list to I, and I's value will be entered there. And even if I'll go and I'll do the data unavailability dot append. So this dot append can have this value available. Okay, so once we hit it, now if you see, I printed the label list, it will give you the list of labels. And if I print the data unavailability, it will give you the unavailability of data's list. Now, what we can have is we know that we have the method px.bar to plot the data. So we can just write the px.bar. And in this px.bar, I need to give the x, which is equals to my label list. And I need to give y, which is nothing else but my data unavailability percentage. Now, when you hit it, you'll see a graph here. So now we have all the indicators available, and we also have these things which shows that clearly like which are the flag available, which are the not. Correct. At the same time, if you want to plot it using that matplotlib, the same thing can be used for that. So for that, it's a plt dot bar, and in this bar, you just need to provide x is equals to not data unavailability. X is equals to my label, and y is equals to my data unavailability. And if you'll hit it, okay, one parameter missing, which is height. So this is oh sorry, skip the two. So this height. So they have the two parameter. So one is the label and another one is the height. When we go for the bar chart, even you want, like we can go there and we can see. So they have the x value, then they have the height, width, these all things we can give them. And then alignment is also there, which is by default is a center. Correct. So that's how like we can plot it even for the using the matplotlib, or using this plotly. Now you'll see that the matplotlib has given us values, but seeing at the values and those things becomes difficult. So that's why this interactivity of the charts comes and play a very vital role. So that's how like we can actually keep utilizing this thing. So we have used this and we have seen that what is the number of data unavailability is there. Now let's go and check that what are the different things are coming as. So I'll just do df.head for now. And once we plate it, we'll see that, oh, they are the death rates for suicide. Okay, so they all are they all the indicators same? So what are we going to do is I'll just take the df.head, not df.head, df dot indicator dot unique. So it will fetch the unique, and yeah, all are related to the same thing, which is the date rates for the suicide. So we have a very single thing for the indicator. Now units are also seems to be something like that. So I'll quickly fetch the df unit. Yes, and df unit dot unique part. So okay, so they have two things, which is the age per residential population, age adjusted, and the crude. And when we say that unit num, so that is one and two. So two different thing is there. Then subname is also there. Subname number is also there. Similarly, stub labels are there. Stub label number is there. Year is there. Now we also see how the year rotating there. So you can just go and check about the year. Okay, so this data is coming from 1950 to every 10-year interval. I think 10-year interval in the beginning only. Then from 80, they have 81, 82, 83, 84, and then they have the continuously data till 2018. Okay, so now this age is also a point, like this is for all the age, or like what have they made any discrimination? Okay, so they have like all the ages, and then once they have the detailed description available, I think they started for the 10, 14, 15, and all those things data. Now also age num, that seems to be some numerical value, and let's see that age num is some numbers given. Then we also have the estimate, and then we have the flag, and what are the values coming into the flag? That's okay. None dot 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 and some star string. So we don't know what their meaning is for now, but let's start looking at the data part. Now, what I see is like they have the stub name. Now let's check what is the stub name here. We missed that part. So stub name. Okay, so this is the total sex and race and spemic origins. Okay, so they have divided few categories based on the sex, age, and the race, so the different type of area. So now after that stub name, stub label name is also there. So let's check that stub label name. Oh, sorry, stub label. Now when we go to stub label, oh, okay, so we have various categories here. Okay. And these categories are total in number how much? So suppose what happen if I group by them onto this category, and then I group by onto the year, and then maybe we could have a few details, because this is what it seems to be a, like a detailed thing where we have each and everything, that the male are having first things, then male not having Hispanic, then male having Hispanic or Latino. So let's try doing that. So I'll just do df dot group by, for df underscore g. It's like my df dot group by, and here I'll be group buying onto the two things as we mentioned there. So first I'm gonna take this stub label, then second I'll take this thing. Correct? We had something age number or age. I think age. Yeah, so age is also a considering point. So my second pointer will be onto the age, and after that also I think we had few details about this uh, unit name or something. Let's check about the unit name, unit num. Okay, that's just a two part. Stub name is also there. What is stub name? So stub name is broadly onto the part. Okay, so I think first should be the stub name, then stub name. Then it will taking to the stub label, and then it is taking to the age. and then it will take for the year group by. Okay, and what we want is the totals count, or could that should be the count, or that should be sum. It's just a near number, and we have the estimates. So this estimate seems to be the one value which is concerning to us. It shouldn't be the count. It should be the mean of that, or the sum of that. Let's take the mean of that. We'll also try and get fetching the sum of that. Now what happened here is it's giving us an error, and that error is that aggregation function failed because how mean d type object. Okay, so they have the various things which is like that, so we need to specify our part, which is like my estimate, sorry, ESTIME. Now we have this data frame available. If I do df underscore g, you'll see that okay, so we have the stub name as an age, total person, and we have kind of a data frame now. So we actually need to make this as a data frame also. So I'll do this 3d dot data frame here only, and I'll pass this entire thing as a data frame. So now, yeah, we have the data frame. Now, if you see that few things are missing, which is like fetching this as in making these things as in our indexes. So what I'm going to do is I'll start making them. So df underscore g, and first thing I'll record from there, which is year. Year is nothing else, but also before doing that, let's see that df underscore g dot index, how many tuple things are there. So first thing is the okay, what I'll do, I just take the first. So we have the age, then this year and number. How is this coming like that? We should have first stub name, correct? So does the stub name also has the age there? Yeah, they also have a age as a point, and the total also as a point. So they have these categories available. Okay, then the second thing we put as a stub label. So stub label also has this age part, just like this simple age part, and then edge also has that. Wow, great. So what we are doing will be needing for the year, so 0 1 2 3 is that. So what I'll do is I'll just go and I'll make this as a list where I'll say that x third part for x in df underscore g dot index. Now when you'll hit it, and if I just again go back and check my df underscore g, you will see that I have a column of year. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the same thing for generating the age. So I'll make it as an age column, and this age we know it's coming as in the second part. Then similar way I'll be making rest of the two columns also, and we'll give them the name same like the stub label and the stub name. So this stub label, and this becomes my stub name, which I'll copy from here. Now this will become my first element, and this will become my zeroth element. Once we hit it, now we have df underscore g available like this, and you'll see that we have filled all the values. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do its index as an range of 0 comma length of my df, length of my df underscore g. Okay, so now my df underscore g data is actually ready, which has around 5,569 rows, and all such details available like that. Now the concerning part is like we have the estimate, we have the age details, and okay. So how are we gonna do that? So suppose like I want to make filtration. So what we'll do is I'll just we'll go to that part, correct? So where we had that drop down part which we built there. Okay, so I'll quickly do f and f11 to go, or even let it be like that. So what are we going to do is we'll be going to our plotly sheet which we built there. So I'll go to that quickly, and we'll go to our that dashboard. So we had this dashboard which has the drop down and all those things. I'm just quickly copying it for a reference. And what are we going to do is like just put it here for a while. I'm hitting it so that we know that what it was doing. It was just having some drop down and it was working like that. Okay. Now we are also going to do the same thing which we says that import dash booster command as dbc. Okay. And now what I'm going to do is like I'll be changing this app layout mechanism and what we want. So we want a dbc dot container. Okay. Now within that container, we should have a dbc dot row. Now in that row, okay. So first let me make few rows. So this first row is drop down. So I think I'll be having around one, two, three, four drop downs, correct? So we can make all those four drop downs there, and in the next drop down, I'll be making a graph. So to plot a graph, we have this DCC graph part. So I'm just copying it from here, and I'll put it in my this part here. Like I want this, and into the DCC dot row, I'm going to make a column DBC dot call, and this will be something like this, and this will have one property which is the call is equals to or maybe sorry width is equals to. Now remember that how this works. So it consider this entire whatever the space you have in a container. So container can be divided into the 12 equal parts. Now I want to create the four drop downs, so four drop downs created by three, so I'll be just dividing it by three. So it's like with three, and we'll be making the copies of it. Okay. So now we have this thing, and now let's hit enter. What happens is error ID not found in layout. Okay, which ID not found in layout? Okay, so this callback is creating an issue. Just hide it for now and like hit it enter. So now you'll see. Okay, so that so we didn't build the drop downs, correct? So let's build the drop down there. So I'll just write the DCC dot drop down for now. So I'll just go there and I'll try to see that if I can make a okay. So this feature, I think using this control or alt key, if you press the alt key, no control, yeah. So if you print the control key, you can have this multiple cursors. So suppose if I want to just go there, I'll hit it and I'll just say that DCC dot drop down. And for now, what I'm doing is I'm just closing it and putting a comma. And let's see if I hit it, you'll see that we have these four things coming as an so it's not obeying that part of the dbc. So what are we going to do is we are going to run this as a script now. Okay, so I'll just open this terminal and I'll see that I want a script. So we can make a python file from here. Okay, after making the python file, we know that what analysis we have done so far. So first thing is like importing all your this libraries there. So I've imported the libraries. After importing of the library, we need to read the data. So let me read the data. After reading the data, all these things we have done, we have fetched, we have made them available, and then ultimately what I did, I made the group by part. So this thing I need to put just after it that I group by it. After group buying, we have done a few things to make our data base looks like a table. So I'll put that part too. And once we are down here, I'll even copy this and I'll put it there. And then ultimately what I'll do is I'll just say that print df underscore g. Okay. And I'll save it and I'll save it as an dash add for EDA L0. Okay. Now I have this ready. Now how can we run this? I'll just quickly go to the terminal. And if you see that I'm already into the basics of Python, now I'll run Python and I have created this app as an this dash app for that. I'll run it and you'll see that we are getting the same data frame what we built there. It means like my this app is now tested. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy out this part particularly. I'll go to app and I'll put it here. Now, these things I'm going to copy and cut it, and I'll move them to my declared part here. Okay. Now I'll again quickly go there and I'll say that run my this part. And when you run, you see that it can be used or port 80. Okay, so 8050 is already is used by another program. So what I'm going to do is I'll just go and I'll provide it as a new port name. So that's port is equals to some 9000, which is not in use right now. So let's run it. And once we run it, it says that the app is running. If I'll click on this, and I'll have to now close this my full screen part. So now if you go to this page, you'll see that you have this four drop downs which are available. Now maybe as like we have kept the column name like that, and that is in the debug mode. So yeah, it's debug mode is true, so that we can even make changes here. So what I'll do is I'll make them as a two, 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 and two. And now when I'll save it, I'll just go there and I'll refresh it. So they are still like this. So why these things which are within the column are not behaving like that? So think we'll have to for the file, and we'll have to add some properties here, which is the class name. And I'll say maybe justify content center. Okay, so still like this thing isn't feasible, but it's okay. So what are we gonna do is now we'll go and we'll check the properties of this drop down. So we drop down, we really need to provide this three things. Okay, so three things are: first thing will be your ID, which is that which part you're looking for. Second will be your options, and third will be what value you want to provide them. So I'll just go there and I'll start typing. So I'm again making my multiple cursor because this variable will be the common. Hit enter two times. I'll go back and I'll start typing. The ID is equals to my drop down underscore. Now some number I'll give there. Okay. Now the options will be there. Okay. And then value will also be there. Now for options, what are we going to do is we know that we are going to give these column names as an option, as an unique also. So there will be df underscore g for sure. So this df underscore g for sure, then there will be a column name which will come here, and then I'll do the unique part of that. And for the same thing, what I'll do is I'll make the copy of that. I'll come back to the values and I'll say that you select the first element of that. Okay. Now, all I need to do is I need to put the names of those variables. So I'll just make a cursor here and one more cursor here. Okay. I'll go and I'll say the first thing I added as which was as a stub name. So I'll say stub underscore name is my first drop down. Then I'll come to the second part, and second part is my stub underscore label. So it's stub underscore label from the data frame. Now my third part was I think age, and my fourth was okay. So my fourth was the time. Fourth is year. Okay, so that's year and year. Now if I'll go to that app and I'll refresh it, now you see okay, so it hasn't fetched the data. I think I have to rerun that part, so I've closed it. Now I'll run it again. It started. I'll just refresh it, but it's still not showing some drop down there. And why is it? Because we have done some keyword mistakes or what? It says that it's options. We have that options. Okay, so the ID is correct. So I'll just put them one, two, three, and four. Now I think it should start fetching the data from there, but it's still not fetching the data. What mistake we have done? Definitely we had missed a few things or something. Dot to list is a function. Let's see if it fetch or it helps us. Still not. We need to find out that what actually happened, which is not allowing us to do that. We have used the same method or the part which we used there. So where is my that plotly? It's here. It just say that it was ID, options, value, and why it's not there for me when I say the scripting part. Oh, missed. This is what is the scripting part where I was working, but I think I've changed all these things somewhere else. We have made these things here. So what I'll do is I'll just copy all these columns. I'll copy it from here and I'll go and I'll put it in this part. So yeah, we made the mistake. We were changing some other script. So that's the point now. What are we gonna do is it says that ID is equals to drop down underscore one. Why it is giving that error? Because it was given like that only, correct? So ID is equals to drop down. So what happened to our, okay, so it's not into the code. So drop down underscore one and it should be in the code. I'll just put the code on them. Yeah, because they are a kind of a string part, correct? Now we'll have to rerun it. So, okay, I again made the mistake. I should have done to this. So I think, I don't know, like better that I just close it so that we don't get confused again and again. And what are we going to do is we'll again make some those multiple axes because we need to perform the same kind of function. So here I put it the start mark, then control, I reach to this part and I've done that. Now it's stay. Now let's run this script. And again, it's saying that there is the drop down is the invalid syntax maybe you meant so ID is like that only, correct? So why it's asking us to do that? So this is the ID, we have put it this ID like that, and maybe this is the one thing which is creating some issue. Let's see. It's ID, it's options, and it's value. These are the few things which you want to run. Yeah. Okay, and now it's saying that to list is not an option. It should be the to list. So I just made that mistake. Let's rerun it. So now, yeah, so once we run this, now 900 is available. Now we even don't need to put it as a list. So we have these options available. Now you see that I have all these things. I would have taken this sex, age, and race. And then this should become, which is actually coming under that as an options. Now, so it means like my options are actually changing, correct? So due to that reason, I cannot provide the options directly here like that way. So somehow I'll have to make these options also for the drop down. So what I'll do is I'll say that my drop one option will be equal to, and in similar fashion, I'll just copy it for the four time. Okay. And two, three, and four. Now what I'll do is I'll make this here. I'll also take this second option. I'll copy it. I'll put it here. I'll take this third option also, copy, and I'll put it here. And this fourth option also will be coming to here. It's required till here only. Okay, so now like we have given these four things there. Now we will change this part also. So I'll be, it's not, we'll be taking this thing now. Okay, so we have 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now with the shift or with the control, it's better that I just go to the end. I'll erase that part and now we'll see that everywhere we have left with the one which is the df underscore g. So I'll just go there and I'll write the drop option one comma, and this will be taking the drop option one's first element always. Okay, now my drop option, sorry, This will be my drop two option. And after that, we are going to have this as the first element of that. Now we will be having the drop three as an option here, comma, and this is will be the first value of that. Now here the drop four is my option, correct? Drop four zero element will also be my option. So now what we have done is we have changed them options also to a variable kind of a thing. Now when I'll run it, right now it will run like that, but we know that they are actually interdependent. So I think the app has stuck because in between we were changing the thing. So I'll just run it here, run like we'll relaunch the app, and now you see that we have the things. Now there are chances that once I select the sex and age, so a few numbers will be there, which is coming actually under that, or so these things actually depends up to that part, correct? So we really need to update them dynamically. So now it's a time for writing the callbacks. So what I'll do is I'll start writing the callback, and the callbacks will be writing in a sense that callbacks. I'll just copy the template from there, which we built last time. So this is what that you have the app.callback, and then you have a definition, and then what you return. So here, what are we going to do is we'll be making the three callbacks. So my always the callbacks output will be depending on like what their input is. Okay. So first the input will be this and the value. So drop down once input and the value is the input and the output is drop down two values. Okay. And now what are we going to do is like updating drop down to, okay, and this has suppose some value. And now what we will be doing, instead of like we are not going to plot some figure there, I'm just removing that figure, and let's see that what we can provide. So we should have a an temp. So that temp is giving me the value where my df underscore g dot location, where my df underscore g's and what was my second name? Second name is where like my first name comes from them, which is the stub lamb. So I'll just take that stub name, and that name should be equals to this n value. Okay. At that time, I'll be getting the temp. And now what I should return? So I should return. I don't know why I put it there. So I'll be returning the temps stub labels, which is my second column. Correct? Stub labels. So I'll be taking the temp stub label dot uni. Okay, and once it's done, what I'll do is for the updating of my third part, I'll be needing the two inputs. So this is my input one, and then this is my input two. Okay, so this is my first value, this is my second value, and this will be the n1 comma n2 now. And this temp will reply not only the subname, I'll just put here and I'll just copy this entire part. I'll paste it. This will become my N2, this will become my N1, and this will become my stub label. And based on that, we will be returning the age. Okay, and this will become my sub label 3. Let's try run it out. We'll see that what happens once we run this thing. I'll just clear this console. We have executed and the app has started. Now you'll see that the callback dropdown 3 value has an error. So this is how like it's gonna give you the functions output. So one is the age sex. Once I selected, I have the various different options of the age, and now it's working. So you know that what we did is we just only updated the what we call as an options, correct? We haven't updated the value. No, sorry, we have updated only the value. We should have updated the options also. So output was value. Output should also be an option. So I'll just take it this as an options. Okay, and here also it should be options. Now let's see. Yeah, the app is now this time it's not giving us any error, correct? Suppose now I go select range section race. So this is what I got only. So we can go with the male white. Now when I go with the male white, I got all ages and all ages. Then I got the years. Now for years, definitely we'll have to build it again. So let's go and build one more last callback, which is to update our D. This was for updating D3. Now this will be for updating the D4. Now for the D4, one more thing we'll add it to the input, which is yeah, something like that. This will 2, this will be 3. Now this is updating the number 4 and N1, N2, and now we will be having the N3, and we will be adding one more, and which will be this time we'll be having the each. Okay, did we make any mistake? Yeah, we missed this part, and this shouldn't be the comma there. Okay, so now this will become the each, and this N2 will become my N3. Now we just observe that we made one mistake over here as well. This should the comma, and now this will be giving the year as an output. Now definitely it would have stopped. Oh, that's still working. So great. So once suppose I selected the sex, age, and race, and then I got to select something from this. So I suppose I selected the female white 15 to 24 years. Now you'll see that in age I'm only getting the 15 to 24 years. Now selected. Now these all years of the data we have. Now, suppose if you put it 2017, ideally, what I want now is like once it's done, it should also print the temp part, or not even like once it's get that part too, like getting the fourth value, it should print something. Okay. So for the output, what we are going to do is for output, we are putting this graph object. Okay, and the graph object has an ID of graph, and that's only needed is the output to be called as in figure, which we need to update there. Now, this time we'll have to add the fourth entity also. So I'll be making this as in 3 and this as in 4, not here as in 4. And now we will be having n2, n3, and then n4 as well. And now what are we going to do is we'll be returning one thing, which is the px dot and I'm just pressing something which is, let's say I'm passing go dot figure. So the figure object will be just having a figure which we are returning. So ideally it shouldn't disturb our script because ultimately we need to provide one output. Now what I want to do is I just want to check what output it is giving. So if I put it here as an year, let's print what will be my temp. Okay, now let's see that if the script is working. Yeah, it's working perfectly fine. So we can go there. Okay, so I think it should have printed. So this year is coming as an value, and it's just giving you one value, which is the estimate. So either we can do one thing is we can hide this year and we can plot this year-wise estimate, or so yeah, that I think we should do that. So what we'll do is we'll just go back to our app and we'll be dropping down this fourth element. So we don't need this fourth drop down. So I'm just commenting that part. Now fourth also I'm commenting that part, and updating the fourth we are again commenting that part. Now what are we going to do is we'll be taking this, but there wouldn't be any fourth. So in similar fashion, what I'll do is I'll just delete it. I'll just delete this N3 as well. Now let's see what we are going to get. So it has updated. This has updated. There are a few errors of the callbacks of the figure. Okay, why this callback error is for figure? So let's go and check. This is 1, 2, and 3. Okay, now it's fine. Okay, it's still giving some error. What's the error? The N4 is not defined. Where is the N4? Okay, we still have it there. we need to remove this from the year, and I think now it will be fine. So now if you see, if I started it, it's looking nice, and it's also giving some figure is coming, but we don't bother about it. Now let's go and check. So yeah, so this has now this thing, and for the year, so years are unique here, and for the year we are getting this estimates number. So we can plot a bar chart between year and then estimate, which is can be given as an output. So now I'll do directly as an px dot bar, and in that bar x will be my estimate, and my y will be my year, and my data frame will be my temp. I hope so this method will work. Yeah, so we have that data. Correct. So now we have an average data for the year, like how many they made the suicide or something like that. So this is all to the overall. Now, suppose if I go with the sex wise, so I just want to see that how many females have done that for all the ages. So this is the count of females. And now suppose if I want to go and look for the males, so this is for the males. Now also not onto the sex, but suppose if I want to go with the sex and the race. And once I go there and I want to see that how many white female has done for the all the ages, and how many female of the Asian island has done. And so I think estimate and year they have changed onto the part. So we'll have to change that. So estimate should be on Y, and year should come onto the X. So this is what we need to change to the script. Yeah, it's changed now. Now it looks better, because that wasn't making any sense, correct? So instead of all age, we are going with the sex and race. Okay, it's so we are going with the sex and race here, sex and age. Now this is okay. So better to go with sex and race. And selected the female white. Into the female white, we can go and select of the all ages. And now you see that this is how their estimates comes about the kind of the data what we have. So that's how like we can even make the sense about these things. And yeah, so that's how like we can create this dashboard. If you want, like now giving it as a title or something, you can definitely add. So I'll just do one thing. I'll just add here a dbc.row. I'll say that this is what I have. This is like html dot h1, and I'll just put it in here like EDA level 01. Okay, now let's refresh. So I got the EDA level 01 there. I just put it as an O, so I'll just change that O to the EL. Now it's my EDA level 01. So this is what is the like the simplest dashboard we have plotted. So we have again reused the concepts, and we have gone through with the new data. We see that how we can even make this. So now like it all depends on them, correct? They want to see total, all person, all ages. So this is the total about the and an average, the data what it is about. So that's how like you can even create some simpler scripts. So what we need to do is we always go first with our notebook, and we start exploring data there. Once we are so sure that this is how we need to crunch the data and do the things, then you can directly start inputting those data to the scripts. Now in the script, it's very easy that you just need to build this app, like initialize an app, then initialize the layout, and then you just need to write the callbacks. Once those callbacks are ready, then you need to provide a note options where you want to launch them, and then you are good to go. So now in the terminal, you can see that I'm printing that. Definitely for that, like now you can stop this printing part, or even you can start removing this all the commented part, because they are of no use. So yes, so now my code is a bit more clean. Okay, and now I'll show you one more thing, that now if you see that my code how it's looking like right now, I'll just go there, and what I'm going to do is I'll just close this script for now, and I'll install two more libraries. So this is pip install isort, isort. Okay, and I'll show you what these things does. And one more is the pip install black. Okay, So I have installed these two libraries, and meanwhile, like it's installed, it's already installed because they are very short. So isort actually help you for changing your import pattern, like how their import library should be written. This import statement should be written as per the Python guideline, and black formats your code. So what we just need to do is, now what I'll do, I'll uh, I'll just do some zoom in so that you guys can see onto that part here. So I'll just write isort and my this script name, which is dash app for VA part. Now you'll see that it said the fixing. Now if you'll go there, I'll just close it, this dashboard, and now I'll open this dashboard again. You see that the form has come to the down. Okay, so it has changed the import in a way. That's how it should be. So they are now alphabetically, first D, then M, and P, 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 and ultimately the from statements come at the end after the import part. Correct. So this is the one change which isort has made. Now let's see what black is going to do. So black, again, we'll be doing the dashboard. Let's say that all done, reformatted the app. Now let's open, and now you'll see that it has limited the 80 characters length. So previously it was in a single line, now it has changed that too. Now you'll see that this is also coming beautifully in like in an nested way, so that you can see and look up to them. This bracket we were used to put it there, so they have filtered out. This was like this can be written in a single statement, so they have done it. So that's how like they are changing these things beautifully. So after writing, so suppose like if you are doing some good work and you are uploading your code to the GitHub, so always before uploading to GitHub, you guys should just go and do this isort and the black, so that the code which is uploaded, that will be purely a very good feeling, and like will be as per the community guidelines of the Python. So yeah, that's it for the day. This was just as like one of the exercise, so that you guys get used to with this. We will be uploading this data. We will be uploading this script and the notebook, both the things. And you go with this video. If you have any query, any questions, be ready with your doubts tomorrow. Like whenever that we have the doubt class, you guys can ask about this. That's it for the day. Thank you.